This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. Community organizers on the Cheyenne River reservation in South Dakota are working to create new foster homes for Native children to keep kids close to extended relatives and to their culture. China Lockett has more.
The nonprofit Simply Smiles has collaborated with the Cheyenne River Reservation and the state's Department of Social Services on this project for a few years. 2 Native American foster parents will live in the house with 6 kids under the age of 18. Marcella Gilbert is a member of the tribe. She has been working with the nonprofit since 2017 and helped initiate the foster facility. Gilbert says the goal at Cheyenne River is to build a safe place for children.
We're creating something here that is very unique. It's a new model. We certainly don't know everything. I'm sure we're going to stumble along the way, but that's how you make it work. Wow.
The state pays the facility a daily rate for each child. That money covers housing costs, food, and provides a stipend for the foster parents. Gilbert says some of today's Lakota adults were forced into boarding schools as children and grew up without any examples of healthy parenting. Instead, they often faced abuse in the schools. She says that experience created dysfunctional dynamics for some Lakota families.
And so we have several generations of being removed from our Lakota parenting skills, parenting abilities. That's why it's important that we have more than just a mom and a dad. You got to have the aunties, you got to have the grandparents, the cousins, everybody involved, because everybody has a role that protects everybody else in that family.
She says that only works when kids are kept on their reservation and close to extended family after they are taken out of their home. The plan is to build 5 more group foster homes over the next few years, creating homes for 36 kids. I'm China Lockett in Rapid City.
Citizens of the Oglala Sioux tribe in South Dakota will go to the polls Tuesday to vote on an alcohol and marijuana referendum. Enrolled members will decide if alcohol should be legal only at the tribe's 2 casinos. Voters will also decide if recreational and medical marijuana should be legalized. Forums were held Friday and over the weekend to allow residents to discuss the measure. Polling sites will be set up at all 9 districts. An elder of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs will be the first census count in the state of Oregon. According to the tribe's 90-year-old and lifelong resident of the Warm Springs Reservation, George Aguilar Sr. will complete the census Thursday at his home privately. Thursday is the first day households will begin receiving official Census Bureau information on how to respond online, by phone, or mail. Tribes, Native organizations, and other tribal partners are working with the Census Bureau for an accurate count of American Indian and Alaska Native people. Census data impacts federal dollars for health, housing, education, and other services. Tribes across the country are continuing to monitor and prepare for the coronavirus. The Red Cliff Band in Wisconsin will host a community forum Thursday at its health center to share information and answer questions. Red Cliff health officials have created an emergency response plan. Health officials say currently the risk in Wisconsin is low. Meanwhile, tribal leaders and organizers of Native events are assessing travel and safety measures for upcoming gatherings. The Navajo Nation has issued travel advisories, as well as some South Dakota tribes, including the Cheyenne River Sioux. Some tribal colleges have opted out of taking students and staff to Albuquerque next week for the American Indian Higher Education Consortium Conference. And organizers of the National Indian Gaming Association say they're closely monitoring the coronavirus leading up to their national convention in San Diego on March 24th. I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Kawanak Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
For Native Americans affected by domestic violence, the Strong Hearts Native Helpline offers peer-to-peer support and resources. It's safe, confidential, and toll-free at 844-7-NATIVE. Program support by the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. Support by the Sonosky Chambers Law Firm, championing tribal sovereignty and defending Native American rights since 1976, with offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.